Bret Baier joins us now, chief political anchor of Fox News, special report. He's got a book coming out. It's great. It's called To Rescue the American Spirit, Teddy Roosevelt and the Birth of a Superpower. Bret, first off, this has been, out of all the things that you've covered, that we've been on the air together about, what makes this feel so different since the Charlie Kirk assassination?
Well, I tell you, Brian, it's just profound in that it's had this reverberation across a ton of communities, not just here in the U.S., but around the world. And, you see these vigils continuing. And I think you see the fallout from it. I think because it was so public and because that actual shooting made its way around on social media, it also had this kind of spooky effect on people's minds of the thought of that happening, much like when you saw the video of RFK being shot or JFK being shot in the back of that car. It's a kind of indelible image that, it provokes emotion.
The other thing is he's your friend and he's your guest. I mean, he's somebody you think to yourself, especially my Sunday show, I had to space him out because, you can't have him on every week, but he always brings a point of view and he always has an idea and he could always move it. He doesn't give predictable answers and he is making news. And then to think that guy in the prime of his life, you could see him tossing out hats 1 minute and the next minute suffer the most horrific wound possible. It's really something that and now with the eve of the internet, you don't have to wait for a film to be developed like the Zapruder film. You see it now. And the fact is, after yesterday, we know so much more about the suspect. Have you ever seen a press conference like that of such substance?
No, and I think that there was a need for it because a lot of people were going down the rabbit hole online, and it was getting a lot of even mainstream attention. And not to say that this investigation is finished or that there aren't other pieces of this or somebody couldn't have supported him, et cetera, but some of the theories out there were getting out there. And I think that was part of the reason they got so detailed in some of the evidence that they had. That thread text message with his boyfriend who's transitioning, I think was probably the biggest moment.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. Here is Jeff Gray yesterday, the Utah County DA, cut 12.
Robinson's mother explained that over the last year or so, Robinson had become more political and had started to lean more to the left, becoming more pro-gay and trans rights oriented. In one conversation before the shooting, Robinson mentioned that Charlie Kirk would be holding an event at UVU, which Robinson said was a stupid venue for the event. Robinson accused Kirk of spreading hate. When asked why he did it, Robinson explained there is too much evil and the guy, referring to Charlie Kirk, spreads too much hate.
He went on to say, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. But yet I'm watching other channels and other pundits say we're still looking for a motive. He just told you the motive in his own words. He said everything except for say it out loud. He put it on print. In one it was a written letter, the other some text messages. Is it pretty clear we have the motive?
Yeah, I've seen that where it's like we don't have a motive yet. Well, what was the reading of the probable cause and the indictment, if you will? It was all motive. It was hatred for him, his belief that Charlie Kirk was spreading hate. It was, he felt that this was the time. He planned it for a week. In his own words, that is the motive. I mean, it's right there. And the other thing is that even today, after all of that, there are still outlets that are saying this kid is from a MAGA family and he was really a conservative who grew up in a gun culture, and that's the problem. It's baffling, and, I guess you can only say it so much.
Right. Douglas Murray echoes your thoughts. Listen to him last night, cut 24.
These are the same people who talk about misinformation and disinformation and much more. They're the ones doing that at the moment. It's very clear to anyone who looks at this what the ideology of Charlie's assassin was. It's been clear for days. Of course, those people on the left who've been lying about conservatives for recent years, smearing and defaming conservatives, calling everyone a fascist and a Nazi. Now they say, let's not talk about this, or let's pretend it's both sides. And did you see today, some of those same people who've been doing that were saying, look, there's violence on both political sides. Look at the attack on Governor Shapiro's mansion. They didn't mention that the person who attacked Governor Shapiro's mansion was a left-wing Palestinianist activist.
Yeah, he was going after him because he was Jewish. So Douglas Murray, again, putting that's exactly what you were saying. I mean, we don't pretend like we don't have the answer.
Yeah, it's frustrating, and I think it's part of there's wish casting, I think, on some sides that this person fell into a different bucket, and it doesn't fit into the narrative that they really want. So it's taking them a long time to accept even a very detailed probable cause sheet from the district attorney.
Right. All right. So the other thing was the Kash Patel and some of the sparring that took place yesterday. It was almost like when you get some of these guys on that have been on the air for a long time, you better be if you're going to go after him, you better be ready to get hit back. He was ready to hit back yesterday, and some of the sparring that went on with Cory Booker. Do we have some of that? The Cory Booker as well as the one with Adam Schiff. I don't know. Do we? Yeah, let's listen to.
I don't think you're fit to him the bureau, but here's the thing, Mr. Patel. I think you're not going to be around long. I think this might be your last oversight hearing.
That rant of false information does not bring this country together. If you want to work on bringing this country, it's my time, not yours.
My God.
If you want to talk about
dividing this country,
it is my time.
I follow you on your social media posts that tear this country apart. Sir, you don't tell me my time is over.
You know
people
how far
of New Jersey tell me what my time is. You can't lecture me.
You can tell me my time's over.
You may be the charge of the FBI,
I'm not going anywhere.
but I am not afraid of you.
I'm not afraid of you, which was probably the most interesting statement after that. But you've seen a lot of hearings. This wasn't usual, typical.
This wasn't Christopher Wray. Let's just say that.
Right.
Traditionally the FBI director in that mold is very quiet and
just takes it
and moves on, doesn't say anything. Kash Patel is not that kind of FBI director, so he pushes back, and listen, obviously we've seen Senator Booker in big moments try to make a big moment. His speech on the Senate floor, the Spartacus moment. Yeah. There's multiple times. I think the Adam Schiff exchange was kind of really interesting in that, Adam Schiff is a focus of some of the investigation of Crossfire Hurricane and what came out of the House Intelligence Committee. And some of that in that exchange came out from Kash Patel.
Seems good. Just lastly, I think it's also important to bring up what you did last night. You had Senator Fetterman and Senator McCormick on. And that is like an old-fashioned Republican and Democrat. They probably didn't know each other before they both ran for Senate seat. McCormick didn't get past Dr. Oz. Fetterman beats Dr. Oz. The other seat was Casey's. Fetterman came out for Casey. McCormick wins. But these two see eye to eye in a lot. Why was that important for them to call you to come on?
Yeah, it was right after the shooting. It was just a few days, and everybody was still reeling. And they reached out and said, "We want to do a common ground." And I've had both of them on individually with other senators on common ground, so they knew the format, and they wanted to come on together as the senators from Pennsylvania. They wanted to express this message that we need to talk to each other differently. I thought Fetterman was really pretty eloquent, about not going down the fascist Hitler road, about saying the left part of his party has been lost, but extremism that gets to violence, no matter what it is unacceptable. So we gave him extra time and wanted to have that conversation. I think it was good.
It was good, but there really is nobody. There was Sinema and Manchin, and you had Manchin on yesterday too. His book is really insightful. He also talks about you in his book. They called up Bret Baier and says, "I'm telling everyone, I'm not voting for this massive bill." And Bret Baier was so surprised when he came out and said, "I'm against it. I'm out." He writes that in his book. But besides them, they were kind of a relief because I didn't know how they were going to react to anything because they had to be sold. They were looking to see what's best for the country. And we really have on the left right now. You really have only Senator Fetterman.
Yeah, Fetterman is like Manchin with a hoodie, and he's the one who's doing a lot of the reaching over. There's a few that are doing a lot of bipartisan things, but when push comes to shove, they kind of go to their corners. I think there's a hunger for more of that, what we saw last night, and we'll see. We'll see if it develops before 26.
All right, Bret. When is your book coming out?
October 21st. Drops okay. October 21st, and you can pre-order now. BretBaier.com is one of the spots where it has all the links. But I'm excited. It's funny. You've done all these book tours, and in the wake of Charlie Kirk, we're having all these meetings about security and everything else. But I'm excited to get out there and talk about Teddy Roosevelt. Yeah, I know you're going to be stopping in Jacksonville, so I know they love you, and they'll be looking forward to getting you there over in northern Florida. Bret Baier, thanks so much. Best of luck. Pick it up to rescue the American spirit. You can't get it yet, but have it land in your inbox or at your house on publishing day. Thanks, Bret. Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.